So this is really, really crazy. When I first started doing meditation, I started remembering hand mantras. I never really heard of them before. But I just started doing them. I saw somebody do Reiki once and it was like a remembrance, right? And I just started remembering doing them. And as I was doing meditation and connecting with Mother Gaia and Earth and the water, was like I was naturally just doing these, and then I looked them up. This was like a couple months ago. I looked them up. I looked some stuff up and I was like, I already knew of all these mantras. I already knew about gathering energy. Like I already like I do it a little differently than what I was saw on the internet, but it's basically the same concept. And it was like I used to do this the last summer when I needed energy because I was like really going hard last summer. I was working all the time and I was doing the social media thing and I was walking 5 miles a day. So, you know, there were days where if I didn't do that like energy thing, like I wouldn't have like been able to like do anything. It was less, I was just like like it kept me from being exhausted constantly. When I was go, 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 go. It was before I moved, Spirit ushered me to live with my brother kind of so I can start like so I could rest because I hadn't rest ever. Really. I don't know about ever, but I've had a really difficult life. I apparently chose this, my soul did before I came here, so I wouldn't get lost in a world where everyone's sleeping. I had to have a spiritual awakening. I had to have this happen because this is a once in a lifetime. So I actually created all this bull. Oh, not created it, but I basically decided that until I learned my lessons, I was going to keep learning my lessons. And I remember now making this contract. You know what I mean? Making this decision. I think that my soul's kind of a little bit of a hard ass, to be honest, but it did create me into a very strong, beautiful human being. But the thing that I think is really interesting is that I started also hearing the light language in my head. I saw one person do it on a live once, and I asked them about it. And I started realizing that, like, I know the light language. One of my favorite words in the world is somebody's name, and it's from an anime, and it's just like basically got ASHIT, and it's basically like everyone says Ashe. It's basically like it's Ashtak. Anyways, I love that. I've always loved this name. I want to name my kid that someday. I've like wrote stories when I was like 14 and used it. And I just think it was really interesting. So while I'm doing these meditations and stuff, I will start hearing the light language in my head. And it's really hard for me to say it properly out loud because I can't roll my R's and stuff, but I can hear it. So I started doing that, right? And then I started doing this thing where I would say, okay, basically like the Buddhist monks have like a mantra thing that they do to kind of like put them in their zen, and it's like I would say these two symbols pretty much always the same in a certain way, and it's like so familiar to the mantra things that, and I didn't know about this. I wasn't never studied Buddhist. Like I don't know. I just didn't. It's just crazy. Like this is why I believe so strongly in my past lives because I remembered things without ever looking them up online. It's like a remembrance. I just started remembering it, and then I'm learning all this stuff is true. And also, Spirit's the one that told me about the world, us all being one, and we were one, and then like the beginning of creation created light and dark. When it created this 3D reality, so it could experience on this plane or this field. Um, it created like in the void. It created like a spark of light, right? Which is spark of civilization, spark of consciousness, spark of the first architects. This is also something really interesting. Didn't realize this the other day, but the first Spirit showed me in like a visual that there's like the architects of the first beginning of the world. Because we are the creators of our reality, but they were like the original OGs, right? That he created. And he showed me like they were architects, like they created this whole they started creating it, but they were like huge, and then they started taking pieces of themselves and like creating. We're still doing that to this day, not the same exact way. But you want to think is really interesting? Why do you think why are the angels called archangels? Architects. I just realized this the other day. I was like, what the fuck? Anyways, I just want to hold a little ramble. It's really fucking nice outside. I am tapped in right now. Gosh, I love God so much. I love it. I love it. We're all connected. We're all connected. And that's why Jesus was able to come down here because like basically source God that's still, that's because apart he's not completely all down in the 3D world. And that's where we go back when we die. That's why it's so loving and all this stuff. And nobody actually ever sees God's face because God's not a being. He but so when Jesus came down, basically that was like source being like, okay, well, I need to do something about Earth, right? So I'm gonna come down in my peers form and show people the way, the first blueprint. Very, very interesting, right? But that's why he was able to do that. People don't understand that. And, he sent more. He sent more than just Jesus. But no, but the thing you have to understand is that nobody else that was sent to help Earth's ascension to new Earth is God. Okay, nobody thinks that. Nobody that is one of these beings, they don't think they're God. They know they're not God. Okay, like we're stuck in this. We're sinner. Like we're stuck in the 3D experience, but we did come here to kind of help Earth out. We're not originally from here. I remember it all. So, anyways, this is all for entertainment person. I'm not gonna even fucking do that. Anyways, I don't know. I'm gonna be writing a book about all this shit. It's gonna be really cool. And yeah, it's gonna be a series of what I remember. So that'll be cool. I can't do it right this second. I'm a really bad writer, but I do have a plan and a business partner. And yeah, I'm really excited. So cool stuff's coming. I'm gonna start going live soon. Yay! Okay, I love you guys. Bye.